Well, it has been a long while since I came to you, my YouTube fans. Bigg Nate here, the Bigg Nate Show. Just wanted to give you a little update of what's going on. Been very busy with a lot of stuff with TGN, broadband TV, a number of different hosts and stuff that I've got connections with Blog Talk Radio. Oh man, the list goes on and on. Um, the election is coming up very quickly, less than 2 months now for the presidential election, which is a big one. I mean, every 4 years we get together and we throw our proverbial hats into the ring for whoever we decide that we want to be president. Um, I'm a little ticked off. I'm a little discouraged. I mean, yeah, 9/11 was a very huge, tremendous terrorist act, but it doesn't decrease the fact that our embassies in other countries are being attacked by idealistic zealots of a certain religious party. Um, Mainly these not all Muslims are the same, just like not all Catholics, just like not all Christians, just like not all Mormons are the same. But to get a group of people together and go and murder 4 U.S. citizens in your country as guests, as our ambassador was killed, and this with no retaliation, because there is nobody to retaliate against. There's nobody there that's you know taken. The government didn't do it. These radical extreme parties get a group, mob of people and take advantage of the situation. The the Arabic nation needs to do something, and they need to control and police their own people. Um, you God-fearing or you Muhammad, fearing Muslims need to really rail your people in. Um, this whole thing about having, virgins in heaven and stuff that we hear about, if that's a stereotype, then smash it. Okay? We've smashed a lot of stereotypes here in the United States. We are trying to portray certain uh, agendas as being equal. I mean, we're becoming more tolerant of the differences in America as we can. I mean, you don't see on the news, at least anymore, KKK members out there burning, crosses into people's lawns and stringing African Americans up like we did 50 years ago. Yeah, just a short 50 years ago, people were still doing that in the South, which was just appalling to me to know that I grew up in a country that went through stuff like that, the struggles like that, and it doesn't make much sense to go into your own country and just pull these people out of the embassy and kill them because some idiot makes a satirical movie on YouTube that depicts your guy. It'd be like, or I guess I would be, because Muhammad's not God. You know that, right? Muhammad was a man, just like Jesus was a man. So are you? I mean, I don't know the Muslim religion well enough, but Muhammad is a prophet, correct? But he's still mortal. He's still a man. But to have this much faith in a man, not even God, but I guess he was as close to God as anybody could be in your faith, so he sets the bar. He's the Brett Favre of the NFL. He's the, John Elway of your religion, basically. The Joe Montana, I guess. Whoever's number one at whatever they're, the Michael Phelps, okay? Whatever. Whoever's number one closest person to God is who you guys are upset about this one particular individual or group of people uh, depicting him as a pedophile, a womanizer, and basically an idiot. Do you believe that? Do you honestly believe that, or is there some truth to it? I don't know. Okay, the fact is that you would allow yourself to get so enraged over the idiotic actions of one other individual, or even a group of individuals, that you would lose your human compassion to the point to where you would kill someone, either inadvertently or on purpose. Setting fire to buildings is a crime in most countries. All right, burning the flag in the United States is legal. All right, but that's only because you got to have a burning permit. I guess you don't have to have one in a foreign country to burn somebody else's flag. But look, the fact is this: you cannot condemn an entire country, all right, for protecting the rights of that one person, even though his acts were not well judged out and not thought out at all. Why would you then retaliate against an entire nation? Basically what they've done by taking out our embassies in your country. If you didn't want us there, just ask us to leave. We will leave. It's just that simple. You do not need to resort to violence to get your point across. We understand that you're pissed off. We know that you're mad. Hell, there's a lot of Americans that are mad at this guy. All right? There are a lot of Muslims in America that have the same rights as everyone else in America that are pissed off, but you don't see them killing people. What is so righteous that in God's world, right, if there's one God, there's one entity, what is so righteous that gives you the right to exterminate the creation of God? You have no right to take that one particular soul and extinguish it from its existence here on this mortal plane. The only person that has that right would be God, because He made it, correct? But we know, at least as our studies, that God, as all-powerful as He is, and as all-knowing as He is, He's compassionate. He loves His children. He wants us to all get along. He wants us to find the truth in humanity. He's given us free choice. Now, if your choice is to take His word and to go kill people, I think you need to read it again. And if you're reading the wrong text, maybe you should read something else to enlighten yourself. Me, personally, I believe that there is a higher power. I choose not to burden Him with my mortal existence. He's got too much going on. I do not pray to Him. I do not ask Him for things. All right? I try not to be a blasphemer. I try not to be a heathen as much as I do not prescribe to organized religion. I believe that it's a man-made tool to control the masses, to control the people that can't or will not think for themselves on their faith. The Bible, all right? I can pick the Bible apart. But do I? No. People are impassioned by the teachings of the Bible. They interpret that the way they wish to. But they don't need somebody to tell them how to interpret it. If you can read, all right, once you're able to read and understand the words of the Bible, then you can make your own decisions on what it says. You do not have to be preached to. You do not have to be taught by someone older than you. And I encourage you to find your own way in your faith and spirituality. Because there is no one direct right answer. The only thing that you need to do is be faithful to yourself. That's it. Find your own path in life to where it is compatible with the person next to you. It's called humanity. It's called compassion. If someone needs help and they ask for it, you give it to them without any strings attached, without saying, well, then you're going to have to do this for me. All right? Now, if a person is under the influence of alcohol, drugs, some sort of non-worldly influence that should not be there, I would ask that person to try to refrain from using these items so that they can become a more productive person in society. Now, it's granted, certain persons can't do that on their own because they lack the mental makeup to do so, or they've fallen so far out of society that they're having trouble bringing themselves back up into it. But I do not judge these people. If they ask for help, I'm going to give it to them. No strings attached, because that's what a brother does for a brother, or a sister does for a sister. All right? Now, if they've proven to themselves to be a threat to that society, a threat to my humanity and my compassion, then they need to go away. They do not need to be in our immediate vicinity. So that's why we have prisons. That's why we have the death sentence. All right? Now, granted, I am not one to say that God allows us to kill people. But a lot of people interpret the Bible to say an eye for an eye, right? So everything is dealt in a certain compassionate or non-compassionate way. Humanity itself needs to find its roots. Okay? There are animals that are more compassionate and more human. They've got more humanity than humans do. Gorillas, chimpanzees, a family-type mentality. They take care of one another. Of course, they have a pecking order, all right, based on who's in charge and who's not, just like we do. And we call ourselves a civilized species. Yet we're the only species that hunts for sport. We're the only species that uses up more resources than we actually need. And we're the only species right now, besides viruses, that are running rampant without control. And they wonder why we have cancer. And they wonder why we have diseases. And they wonder why people die. Because there's too many of us. There's a genetic predisposition for everyone, which unfortunately humans can overcome. They can supersede it by just living better lives. Now, granted, there are certain people in our species that have certain deficiencies and are given, a bad shake in life, either both from birth or from accidents that happen to us throughout life. But it's those people that decide to overcome those adversities or don't know any better and just live life the best they can. Those are the people we need to take into consideration and model ourselves after. Now, I'm not saying going out there and cut off your leg and become a paraplegic or anything. What I'm saying is that you need to take the heart, the drive, the courage that these people have to exist and put that energy into your own life being normal, and look how much more beneficial you will be to not only yourself but others. A wise man once told me to respect all but fear none. And I took that to heart. I don't fear anything in this world, not even death. All right? Now, you could say, well, don't you fear your family getting sick and or maybe getting hurt or something? You know what? Yeah, there's a piece of me that's wary of it, but I'm not scared of it. If it happens, I will deal with it because I have to. Any problem that presents itself to somebody who's got a rational thought process can figure out a way to get out of it. And if you can't, then you need to surround yourself with people that can. Going back to our subject, if the Arabic nation, all right, being wherever you are, is that pissed off, all right, before you burn another flag, before you tip over another car and set it ablaze, before you run rampant over an embassy and kill people, could we at least just sit down and talk about what's going on and what's making you angry? I mean, the internet's a wonderful place for that, and I encourage anybody on YouTube that if you have issues, to talk them out. You can talk them out here. I will respond to anybody and everybody that wants to talk them out. It's not very hard. These days, a webcam costs you $10. Mine did. I'm using a laptop that cost me $100 and an internet connection. So for the whole ballpark price of about $200, I can send a message out every day of the month, if I choose to, over a free service, which costs me nothing. And I'm able to get my word out there to the people that want to listen. Now, what I'm mad about even more is that we've got two candidates here. We've got the President, Barack Obama, and we've got the person running against him for the Republican Party, Mitt Romney. I'm going to tell you right now that if I had either one of you two gentlemen in a room, I would be hard-pressed not to yell at you both and to get in your face and to make you feel threatened by my physical prowess, I guess you could say. Not to intimidate you for the joy of doing it, more so to intimidate you to get a fucking clue about what's going on around you. Harness these so-called leadership skills that you guys are beating your chests about and that you have and that you're wanting to change, and we're the ones that made the change, and I'm here to help you and admit, you know what? I don't want any more lying. I don't want any more filibuster up there on your soapbox. I just want you to do the fucking job. And if the people that you were hired surrounding you right now can't do the job, guess what? They become unemployed and they can collect their unemployment checks just like everybody else, and you find people that will do the fucking job. You want to appoint me to an office, a committee or something? I will get the fucking job done. Because that's what I do. I may not have any experience at all, but guess what? I'll teach myself in a short amount of time what I need to get done, and I will get it done. I will not wait 4 years and the ridicule of an entire nation to get it done, Barack Obama. I will not think that I am presidentially qualified to lead this nation just because I'm a businessman, Mitt Romney. It takes more to lead a nation, more than you guys will ever know. History has dictated that. The great presidents of old, we haven't had one in over 100 years. Well, I take that back. I guess the last great president was FDR. Everybody since then can suck a dick. FDR did it from a fucking wheelchair. He did it with the love of his nation and his wife. He led us into a war that we may not wanted to be in, but he knew that we needed to be in to elevate us as a nation, to put us on top, because he saw what was coming. He didn't look in the rearview mirror of what was coming up behind him. He looked through the windshield to see what was coming down the road. That is the difference between a leader and a follower. Follower is always looking behind to see who's coming up behind. A leader is someone who forecasts the future and leads us to that point, to that place. Look, Not everybody's going to agree with all of what I'm saying, my rhetoric or whatever, but this is the way that I cope. This is the way that I get my point across, all right? As an American citizen who votes, I want a better future for not only myself but my family and all of my people that I know and all the people that I don't know. I want the elderly to be taken care of. I want better education system for our children. I want a land that's not so taxed that we can't do anything. You take money from me, that's money that I can't give to somebody else to get what I need to exist. And the only reason you want that money is so that you can do stuff for the government, when it's the government that should be doing stuff for us, protecting us. It's my civil duty to enlighten all of the presidential candidates that are going to be coming out, all of the vice presidential candidates, all of the governors and congressmen, senators, all of you people out there that are running for office. It's a simple request. Listen to the people you work for. Listen to us because we're the one that foots the bill. We're not all stupid. We're not all unreasonable. We understand that in this world, we have to pay for what we get. We have to work for what we want. We have to motivate, not only by ourselves, but in groups and in communities, to get things done. So quit treating us like children. Come to us with real issues. I don't want to hear another damn thing about gay rights. I want those people to have the same rights I do. If they want to get married, fine. Let them get married. I don't care. I don't care if Steve and Steve get married or Luann and Luann get married. If they're my friends, I'm all for it. Even if they're not my friends, I respect them enough as individuals in America to give them that opportunity to be happy. The pursuit of happiness. Nobody says we're going to be happy, but at least we have the right to pursue that happiness. People keep clouding the issues. Abortion, this, that, other thing. Look, the stand on abortion is this. I am not one to dictate to a woman what she's going to do with her body. It could be my kid. I could care less. If I put a seed in there that she didn't want, guess what? She's going to decide what she wants to do with it. Period. It's her body now. You donated, okay? You were the donor. You gave her an experience. Now she has to deal with it. And hopefully, men, if she comes to you and say, I want an abortion, all right, that you would sit down and talk to her about it, come up with a plan of action, and if she still wishes to proceed, help her to become more fulfilled in her beliefs of what she wants to do. Well, it's against my religion. Fuck your religion. This is a person that's asking for help. God's not going to come down and do it. If she doesn't feel that she can take care of this child, oh, we got adoption. I don't want to carry it for 9 months, she says. Well, now you're being selfish. You know what? You were selfish when you stuck your dick in me. That's what she's going to tell you. Look, there's only one issue. One singular issue in this entire campaign. Do you, as a voter, believe that either one of the candidates that are in the lead with the two largest parties, the Democrat or Republican, can actually do the job? My answer is no. I've lost my faith in both candidates. I do not like either one, period. It's like watching the Super Bowl for a team I don't give a shit about. But you got to pick one, right? You got to pick a winner. No. That's where you're wrong. If I can get at least one person in every 50 states and every Dominican Republic that is represented by the United States to vote, writing ballot, just one person from each state, that person then would be put onto the Electoral College for the next election. We need to decide who that person is. Now, you can make jokes about it. You can make whatever statements you decide to about who that person may be. The only thing they have to be is over the age of 35. They have to be a U.S. citizen. That means born in the United States. So Schwarzenegger can't be president right now unless somebody changes the rules. But the fact is, there are a lot of people out there that I wouldn't mind calling president, that I think would do a really good job, that I think have the faculties about themselves that would allow us to grow as a nation far better than the two that we've got lined up right now. So I encourage you, if you're not sure who to vote for, don't vote for them. Educate yourself. Come to a decision. Don't be bullied into voting for somebody down a party line that you don't agree with. Well, I'm going to vote for Obama because he's there and I got to give him another chance. I'm going to vote for Mitt Romney because he's Republican and he's a Mormon and well, whatever. No. Don't do that. That's just giving in to the system that's already broken. We want to change the system, people. So I'm encouraging every viewer out there to pass this around and to try to get one single person that we can all agree on to write in come November 11th. Anyway. All right, enough filibustering for myself now. 27 minutes and 19 seconds into this, and I hope that I got some points across. World, keep on spinning. And keep on going up to higher ground, I guess. Anyway. It's so difficult sometimes to just not be enraged. But I'm calm. I'm collected. I need your help. Viewers, I need your help. Please, I'm not trying to do this for money. I'm not trying to get this, put on some news report or anything anywhere. I just want the word to go out there that we can make a difference now. The Internet Nation can make its own call on this. We have more power than anybody even realizes. So if you're over the age of 18, if you're a registered voter in whatever state or a republic that you live in, Puerto Rico, Solomon Islands, whatever, start leaving messages, start leaving comments on this, and let's talk about who we want to lead us into the next era. Who do we want there? I mean, it's got to be a legitimate person. But if we get more votes than the other two, we win. That person would then be asked to become president. It's a shot in the dark, but I think it's worth trying for. Anyway, this is Bigg Nate, Bigg Nate Show. Rant's over. Peace out.